Hey, welcome to Graphic Policy Television, GPTV. I'm Brett. In my hands is Refugee, the graphic novel. It's based off the book by Gratz, art by Syd Fini. And this is interesting. It's a really, really fascinating graphic novel. It's got color by Neda, Kazemifar, colors by Czap, lettering by Warren Montgomery, map designs by Jim McMahon and Greg Franco. So it's really three stories. So it's a story about Josef. It's 1930s. Josef is Jewish, and they need to escape Germany and try to find freedom. They wind up on the St. Louis ship heading towards Cuba. And when I say that, some people who know history might know what happened with that. Then flash forward to 1994, and it's a story about Isabel. She's a Cuban girl. And for those who don't know, obviously with the story of just Cuba in general, they're under pretty brutal leadership. Fidel Castro. It's kind of shifted in years, but it hasn't been all that great with the collapse of the Soviet Union and U.S. embargo. Cuba had a crunch in the 90s that really strained everything, and people were fleeing. So there was a law that was put in place under Clinton that was called wet foot, dry foot. Basically, if you made it to land, you could stay. If you can make it to the United States land, dry land, you could stay. If you're caught in the water, you get returned to Cuba. And then it further goes into 2015 with a Syrian boy named Mahmoud, who is trying to escape Syria, and his family wants to go to Germany. The three stories are heartbreaking. This is a graphic novel geared towards kids. This is middle grade readers, age 9 through 12. It might be a little heavy for 9-year-olds. I'll say it. 10 and up is probably a bit more what I would think. Definitely like 11 or 12. But 11 or 12, I will already say this should be required reading in schools. This should be required reading. I think it lays forth and gives history in an engaging way. It's absolutely scary. It's heartbreaking. It will cause you to tear up. But it's history that people need to know. What I think is even better about it is that some of the history of this is true. So some of the people that are depicted in the 1930s in some of the story of 94, the story of 2005, like there are some of it is real people. The ship captain on the boat going to Cuba was a real person. The villain of that was a real person. One of the people that was on the boat is based off of a real person. The Cuban story is based off of real stories. The Mahmoud story is based off of real stories. So this is all like none of this is made up. This is all has roots in the experience of others. And what I think it does really well is it lays out these experiences. Lays out the horrible experiences that they had, the why they're going through it, the obstacles that they faced, the issues they faced, just trying to find freedom and safety. These weren't people going to all these places to steal jobs. They weren't going to cause trouble or do crime. Every single one of these, the people wanted to survive. They wanted to live. They wanted to find freedom, that they could grow up, that these kids could go live a life and be adults and be productive and have families of their own. And that connects all three stories. There's something else that connects all three stories that comes clear towards the end of this. But this is a story of heartbreak, of perseverance, of tragedy, and freedom. And it also is a highlight of the horrible policies throughout the world, throughout history, that we repeat decade after decade after decade after calamity after calamity after calamity. We treat people not as people. It's not easy. I'm not going to say it's an easy thing that you can accept everyone, but it points out that there was 900 something people on the boat trying to escape Germany, and a quarter of them died. I think it might have been more. I'm pretty sure it was a quarter of them just died because they couldn't find freedom. So they were murdered, yeah. Estimated 254 of the refugees landed back in continental Europe and died in the Holocaust. So a quarter of those people were murdered due to shitty policies of those times. Straight up. And I will say that they were murdered. They were murdered by the United States, who wouldn't let them in. They were murdered by Canada, that wouldn't let them in. They were murdered by the Cubans, that wouldn't let them in. They were murdered. And just like those individuals who were trying to find freedom in Cuba to get to the United States, some of them were murdered. Some of them died. Trying to find freedom and trying to find a better life. In Syria, the same thing. Those individuals were brutalized, or these people in this story were brutalized. They were threatened. They were robbed. It created crime. It created a worse situation. For the amount of money spent to try to keep these people out, to try to treat them like animals, or less than human, less than, you know, the people of that live in those nations. All that money could have been spent to welcome them, to help them, to ease things, to make the process easier, and help them find a better life and create a better life for themselves. I think this highlights three stories intertwined, but so similar, of just people trying to find freedom, of trying to find happiness and survive. And I think it's three stories also of horrible policy that led to the death. Horrible policy by nations who turned their back. So it's interesting, and I don't know if kids will get that, and I don't know if kids will pick up on the negative of this. In the back, it talks about it a little bit. It brings that up, but you know, I don't know if middle grade readers will walk away recognizing the injustice, unless they are specifically asked and highlighted. But to me, that stood out on this, is it highlights not just this tale of survivals, but it highlights the injustice and horrible policies that led to death and suffering and caused more chaos. So it's a really good graphic novel. I think it especially coming out now with the bullshit that's going on in the United States, the demonization of immigrants. Many of them are trying to go through the process legally. I think this comes out at the right time, and I think it points a finger and says, not again. And why are we doing this? And why do we repeat ourselves over and over and over? We know better, and we should do better, and we can do better. We choose not to. So, it's good. It's really good. And as I said, I think this should be required reading. I think the art is fantastic. It bounces around between the three stories, and eventually they come together in their own ways, and the dots get, hopefully the dots get picked up by the kids and they can understand a little bit. But it does a little bit of each story at a time, and kind of rotates through them, which is interesting. The art at times can be a little scary. There's death, there's bomb explosions, there is guns drawn, there's people being shot at. There's some horrific stuff in this, but this is reality. And I think this is a good way to maybe ease kids into that reality and spotlight, and not give them a sanitized bullshit of the way the world is. Like, let them see the truth and let them try to carve a better path themselves. The younger the kids that we can get to see injustice or want to do better, the better we'll be in the future. So, good story. There's some history in the back afterwards that actually lays out the facts on everything. I recommend it. I think it should be required reading in schools. Enough said. So you can go get this. It's out in shops. We got a link beneath this video. Put your zip code. It'll tell the comic shops near you. No shop, no problem. We have some links where you can purchase your own. There'll be affiliate links, so we do get a small percentage. By doing that, you help support our site. I want to thank Graphics for hooking us up with this review copy, and of course, thank you all for watching. If you are into comics, check us out every day at graphicpolicy.com, and of course, we're on Facebook, TikTok, Mastodon, Threads, Blue Sky, all at Graphic Policy, keeping it nice and consistent. Until next time, keep reading those comics, and keep it geeky. Hey, thanks for watching the previous video from Graphic Policy Television. Just by watching, you help support our site. Thank you so much. Now, if you're watching these videos, you probably care about geeky things like movies, television, comic books, toys, games, video games, you name it. You can go and subscribe right now to our YouTube channel to stay in touch and catch all the new videos, or check out our website at graphicpolicy.com. There's a nice link on this end of the video. But as always, thank you for watching. Keep on rocking and keep it geeky.